Hi, it's Be Casein Free with me, and today I'm making sausage, bacon, mushroom, green onion, and vegan cheese quiche. I'm allergic to casein, it's a milk protein, so I have to avoid milk products entirely. And yes, that does mean no butter, no cheese, no sour cream, no ice cream, etc., etc. So today's featured products will be vegan dairy, including this Elmhurst almond milk. My best friend was gracious enough to allow me to use hers. So we're using a cup of that. And then I bought the Kite Hill ricotta. So if you have a casein or wheat allergy, or if you're lactose intolerant, this content is specifically for you. And even if you're not part of my target demographic, you should stay and listen to me talk some shit. So I'm going to keep it a buck. Dairy really isn't good for any of us, whether you're allergic to it, intolerant to it, or not. But some of y'all really need to stop consuming it anyways. I'm convinced that dairy is obstructing not just some of y'all's digestive tract, but it's preventing some of y'all from using logic because, Veronica, why would you offer me some chocolate milk? Milk! When I've told you several times that I'm allergic to milk. Oh, it's okay. We add water to it so you can drink it. Girl, bye. This week's Jackass Award goes to Veronica. Because how are you going to offer me cocoa powder, sugar, dry milk, and hot water? How? That's a one-way ticket to the emergency room. But I digress. I'm definitely going to make a video detailing the ins and outs of having a casein allergy and how it differs from lactose intolerance. So you'll want to watch out for that. Oftentimes, people who don't suffer from whey and casein allergies ask me, what do vegan products taste like? Now, the old me would say some smart-ass mess like fermented Elmer's glue and sawdust. But it's 2025. The new me is trying to be better. Do better. Sorta. Kinda. But anyways, in all honesty, vegan dairy products don't really have a distinguishable flavor. And that really works in my favor when I'm cooking or baking with them, because the great thing about this is that when I'm using vegan and dairy products, it enables you to work with a blank slate, for lack of a better term. The vegan dairy products will take on the flavor of the ingredients that you use while also supplying a creamy texture. So I've been using vegan dairy products, I want to say since 2000, definitely about 2009, about 2009, 2008, 2009, probably 2009. And back in 2009, there weren't as many products available as there are now. There's different companies, different products, it's just a lot of different things. It used to be just Silk and then Daya, but now there's a variety of brands out there. So I've been trying out different brands and seeing what works for me taste-wise and experimenting. So when I said that working with these products, it's like working with a blank slate, you're really you're working with the meat ingredients to give it flavor. So you see I've used sausage, and I'm going to use some bacon. And once the fat, once it heats up and the fat renders, the fat from the eggs and the seasonings that I eventually will add to it. Oh, That is, sorry, let me just step off to the side. So this is the Parmesan cheese that I used. It's not actually the Follow Your Heart brand. It's actually Violife. Follow Your Heart has a more powdery, gritty texture to it. And my friend had gotten the Violife brand Parmesan cheese wedge, and she grated that. So that's why it looks like that. Normally that brand, Follow Your Heart, doesn't look long and grated like that. It has a different consistency and texture to it. It looks like it's grated, but it's more powdery, granule and powdery. But anyways, shit, I lost my train of thought. I hate it when I do that. But, yeah. So the products, the vegan products are going to take up the flavor from the meat that I'm using. And you see I'm layering it again here. And I swear to you, I did chop up and clean the mushrooms. I chopped them up, sliced them, and then I put them on the stove to cook them down so it wouldn't produce excess moisture in the quiche. But I don't know what happened to that footage. But anyways, I did do it, and you can see on the right side of the screen that I have mushrooms in that rectangular gray container. But yeah, here I'm just really leaning into using meat and vegetables and seasonings. And that way I can have the cream that I want, or the creamy consistency that I want, without sacrificing flavor. And I know I'm like jumping all over the place here, but yeah, just layering it with different ingredients helps immensely. And I don't know, I can't put my finger on how many, I can't think of a number off the top of my head, how many different brands there are. There's tons of brands out there. And there used to just be Silk and Daya. And now there's Violife, there's Kite Hill, there's Ripple, there's Just Brand, there's it's so delicious. There's so many different brands. So there's different products that each brand specializes in or carries. And sometimes I find, especially in my neck of the woods, I try to get, I have my favorite brands. I like the brands that I like, but they're not always accessible. So I've pretty much, I want to say I've tried most of the brands, not all of them, but most of them. So I like to have a backup brand just in case I can't find the typical brand that I'm looking for. And that's how I've been able to survive and eat things that I wasn't able to eat for the longest time because, you know, I didn't have a lot of options. I couldn't eat the dairy, and all I can get was Silk milk or this diet cheese. But as you can see here, you see that I'm not really measuring. I'm pretty much eyeballing things. I will say this much. I'm not really someone that follows recipes step by step. I kind of follow them loosely, and I take liberties with the recipes. I don't really measure. I eyeball, as I said. I season to the high heavens. And I stop only when the ancestors tell me to stop. But I don't measure. Not like that. I don't like bust out with a teaspoon here, tablespoon of this, whatever. I don't do that. I season to my liking. And I season, and then I taste along the way, and then I make adjustments accordingly to how the food tastes. And I'm making this basically for work. This is going to be, I'm food prepping actually. This is going to be my breakfast for the week. You see, I was about to pour that in over there without adding the milk. Sometimes I do lose my train of thought and start to, but then I remember what I was doing. But yeah, this is going to be my lunch, not my lunch, but my breakfast for the week, and sometimes a snack as well on the same day if I get extra hungry. I feel like I'm jumping all over the place again, but I digress. But I will say that I can make pie crust, but I'm actually, in this video, I'm going to work tomorrow, and I have to be at work super early in the morning working grave. So I knew I wasn't going to be able to do the pie crust and do the quiche. And then I'm also making my lunch for the week as well. And I did it in the same video. That'll be the next video that I edit and post. But it's like, there's only so much I can do like in a day. And it's, when you have like food allergies, or if you're lactose intolerant, and depending on the severity of it, or maybe you're doing keto or not, you really have to meal prep and plan ahead to avoid coming into contact with something that could make you ill or throw your diet off. So I can't stress that enough, how important it is the reason why I have to food prep. So I'm about to throw this in, and here we go. It's done. You can see how I fucked up the crust. I don't know, for whatever reason, I'm accustomed to, I don't know what happened there. Whatever. I just got to taste this, see what it tastes like. And it was a hit. I liked it. I think the ricotta gave it a smoother, creamier texture, like soft scrambled eggs. But I may have fucked up the crust, but I fucked it up the whole breakfast for the whole week. It was delicious.